Hello everyone and welcome back to my City Skylines tutorial series. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be discussing my top 5 mods that City Skylines has. Now I know you're thinking this. Holy cow, Terahdra, you play mostly vanilla Skylines. Why are you talking about mods? The reason why I'm talking about mods is because it becomes a conversation piece almost every single time I'm live streaming this game. So I want to give you guys my top 5. That way I can direct you guys to this video and I can give you reasons why I enjoy them. Now it's kind of hard coming up with a top 5 because there wasn't really 5 that I liked. There's really only 3, but I chose 5 because I want to show you guys how they work and why they're so great in my book. Number 5 of my top 5 mods would be the CSL Show More Limits. Now this is for your larger cities, not for cities like this. If you're curious and you want to try to increase your city to the maximum, there is an add-on that you can download via a mod, and you can show how it shows up on your game, but Control L usually opens it and it shows you a list here. Now this list is very detailed. It shows you the maximum size and the default limit. These are roughly the same. These are hard caps that exist in the game that cannot be bypassed by any means. Now you can see here, maximum size says 25 for areas. That's for purchasable areas. There is an 81 tile mod that allows you to use the whole map, but I think after 25 they're free. Correct me if I'm wrong. All of these numbers are maximum. So if you hit the maximum number of buildings, your city will not grow anymore. If you hit the maximum number of citizens, your city will not grow anymore, etc., etc. One thing I see people hit the first more than anything else is going to be your cars, your active vehicles. This is the number that I see hit the most more than anything else. This can be controlled with mass transit implementations. It can also be controlled by taking out all of your yellow industrial that create the good trucks, and also taking out the rail lines and the cargo lines that also involve industrial creating goods. Once your city gets to a certain size, you want to move to importing everything. You'll be able to afford it with your tax money. It's great for building cities and trying to see when a cap is met, trying to maximize your space and your efficiency and your density. Number 4 on my list of top 5 mods that I enjoy is going to be the Surface Painter. Now what Surface Painter does is it allows you to add things to a map that don't already exist, or that do exist but you want more of. So let's say for instance this is an older map. It doesn't have oil, fertile soil, and ore everywhere like you want it to be. Let's say you wanted this area of the map to be a high oil area. You can grab this, use a paintbrush, use a tool, whichever one you want to use, and you can paint where there's oil. Now this takes effect immediately and you can check it in your layers graph on the top left. Let's paint this area here with oil. And then let's check our layers. You see here, it shows there's oil. You can bleed it off into the water like I did just then. That way you can have your offshore derricks. Once it empties, you can replenish it if you do not have infinite resources turned on. We're gonna be touching on the industries part in a little bit, but if you ever play with the industries DLC, I strongly recommend turning on unlimited resources because these things run out very, 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 very fast. Faster than I believe they should for a video game that has that DLC. You can use the Surface Painter in many ways. You can use it to attach multiple different areas together. The reason why the fertile soil is not showing up is because there's trees here. If I were to eliminate the trees using another tool that I haven't touched on yet, if I were to eliminate these trees and go back and paint the fertile soil, you can see it pop up there now. Fertile soil and trees do not mix well together. Once you lay trees down, it takes away from the soil fertility. And then you can put some farmland here if you wanted to. My number 3 tool is the one I just touched on, and that is the More Landscaping Tools mod. Now what this does is this allows you to bypass the soil restriction that you have in the base game. It also allows you to do a bunch of awesome things without having to worry about resources in your city. Let me give you a quick for instance. This allows you to make large brush sizes so you can make big moves at one time. It also allows you to choose different layouts if you want to do different tree arrangements, etc. We're going to be switching to one of these brushes here, making it not very strong, going to the level tool, and we're going to level this meteor. Now if you notice, there's no soil plus or minus, there's no breaks in what's going on, and you can instantly get things fixed and changed at your will. Now keep this in mind, this is a very dangerous tool if you don't know how to use it. Let's say for instance we're using the Soften Terrain tool. Now this just softens things around a base point. If you go to an edge and you have the strength up too high and you click, you're gonna flatten your island very, very hard, very, very quickly. So for this, you have to almost feather the brush and just make sure that you just barely tap it, barely click it. That's probably even still way too strong. That way you don't completely melt your island. If you ever want to bring it back, you can just, of course, turn it back on and reform your island. Just be careful about those modes in this tool because it's very unforgiving and it's very deliberate. It's not very fine unless you go way low and you make the brush very, very small. Then you can kind of get what you want from it for a desired effect. This is a detailer's dream because you can pretty much build whatever you want. You can make land bridges, you can make mountains, and there's no soil restrictions to hold you back. This here's also good for placing materials on a map if you want sand on a beach. Let's say we didn't want sand here. You can get rid of the sand. Right click takes away, left click puts down. So we can remove the beach from here and make this into a regular area. Now by default, it's gonna have a little bit of sand there on the edge because that's how the game treats it next to water, but you can always put that sand back if you want. That's how this beach right here was made in this crescent island in the archipelago map, if you're ever interested. So you can make beach exclusive islands if you want. This is a beach island. This one's gonna be half of a beach island. And then you can take the brush and get even finer with it and make little end passes in between. Hold on, let me see if I can't get this a little stronger. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Let's make it really strong. He's trying to take the sand away from me. Don't take the sand away from me. Oh, good gracious, what is going on? Here we go. This is what I want. I'm not good at this tool, as you can tell. But you can use it to create whatever you want out of it. I think it's because of the trees. Let me take the trees away. Right click takes away trees when you got trees selected. Nope, it's just weird. Okay, well that's fun. Either way, use it however you can make it work to achieve the final result that you're trying to make. I think that looks pretty good. And you can add a road here, give it a little bit of difference, make it work the way you want it to. I'm holding the right click, by the way, and it's not working, so. Your mileage may vary on what you want to find, but that actually looks really, really nice, and you can take it and change it however you want. It also works well for trees. Say we wanted to make trees, but we wanted them to be very sparing, and we wanted them to be just everywhere that we want them to. You can use this tool here and see the brush strength dictates how hard the trees come down. If I turn it up higher, it'll put trees in more plentiful. If I turned it all the way up, oops, we can get them in everywhere. And you can do this on an island if you wanted to, for instance, set up your own custom trees. Let's change this. Oh God. All right, let's take all these trees off. Bam. Let's say we wanted to make our own little area here with trees. Turn the wrong brush size off. We'll take some palm trees and we'll hug the coast with it. See how it took away from the fertile soil just then? We'll put more palm trees in the sand area. So we can do that, and then we'll make the brush a little smaller. And we'll come in here and put in our little deciduous conifers if you want. And lie on the edge there, and then we can come further in here and put a different set of trees. That way you can give your city some character and some originality. And there you got your 3 different versions of trees going on. You can edit this as you will. Take the tool however you want. Make things move. Shake them around. Make it all look nice. Fill in the gaps. Now you have a living, breathing ecosystem on an island that you didn't have before. You can always shrink down the tool and take out what you don't like in between. And that is it for that. Use it as you will. It can be dangerous. It can be helpful. Your mileage may vary. Just make sure that you use it with the knowledge that you may not always get what you want out of it. You just might find you get what you need. My number 2 mod, and this is one of my favorite mods, is the More Zoom mod. This allows you to zoom all the way out so you can see your entire city and get nice screen caps for sharing with friends or for posting on your different social medias, or just for having as a backdrop for your PC. This allows you to break out from the normal view, and it allows you to kind of get in and really see some details of your city and buildings that you wouldn't normally see with the base default zoom options. I really enjoy this because some of the cities that we build could be rather complex and rather large in shape. For instance, I'll show you a city that we built recently that is my dog. This is my Sandy town that we put together right here, and being able to zoom all the way out and take a picture of her face, this is 25 tiles, is something that is very helpful when we're trying to show people who come into the chat the whole thing that we have going on. My number 1 mod, and the one that changes the most that I wish would be more consistent, is going to have to be the Move It tool. Now this has changed a lot since when I first started using it. It was created by someone originally and taken over by Cuboid. If you guys don't know who he is, he hangs around in the Twitch community a lot. And this tool is very powerful. This allows you to fix and move and change things that you otherwise wouldn't normally be able to do in the base game. And I wish this was a part of the base game because it seems like something that would be great on PlayStation, great on Xbox, and fantastic for PC players who want to make a change. Let's say, for instance, we have this road here and it doesn't look exactly how you want it to look, and you want to change the way it looks. Well, in the base game, in vanilla, you would just have to like rebuild that road over and over and over again until you got your desired effect. But with Move It tool, you can do so much more than that. This is just going to be a quick little synopsis about how Move It tool works. You can take it and practice it how you will. We might have a video up later on how to do everything on it, but I'll put a link down below for a video that goes into more detail than this with it. This road slopes down. It's not the best looking slope in the world. You can grab a node where 2 roads come together, and with page up and page down, we can start to soften that ramp. That's the Move It tool. This turn is a little too sharp. I'm going to grab this section, grab the center here, and I'm going to move it. And we can change the shape of the road using the Move It tool. Now granted, it only moves between the 2 nodes, so you have to come over here then and move this node over to kind of complement the change you just made. And then you have to come this way, and you kind of have to change your whole shape. But once you do that, you have finer controls over your road. Now this is too low. We're going to page up and bring this up. So now we've made a nice slope here. That way the cars can come down and through. This is a little too blunt here. So I'm gonna move this center over to here. Right there. That way I have more control over that end of the road towards that node than I do the other end. And we can make the road kind of curl around like that. It's a better looking S. This one is a little tight. You can see the vertices here because these 2 roads are coming together. So I can come this way with our road, change the center, and kind of make it wiggle in just a way. That way the vertices aren't seen. And we have our road nice and sloped down. And I can even grab this node and pick this up if I wanted it to look like a cleaner slope coming down from that hill. And that's what the Move It tool can do for you. You can also do even crazier things with it. You can use it to move buildings. You can use it to duplicate buildings to bypass purchasing them. It's a very dirty way of doing things. But let's say I pick that police department, I want to make a copy of it. This is a duplicate tool. I can duplicate the police station and place another one. I would not advise doing that because the game starts to go weird and break things, and if you do it too much, you can cause some issues with the game. I would advise against it, but whatever you do with your game is what you do with your game. The Move It tool can also be used to adjust bridges, heights. See how this bridge sags right here? That was built as part of the base game. So here in the Move It tool, I can take this now and I can match the height using page up, page down. There's also a different way to do it. Let's create a scenario where this is a lot lower. Here we go. This one's a lot higher. Then we can come over here and make this one a lot lower. And let's make this one a lot higher. And let's say this one was the same way. We had this one be high. We had this one be a lot higher. And this one be a lot lower. And let's say you wanted these to be equal. You want them all to be the same height. So I want all of these bridges to be the same height as what it is right here. What you want to do is you want to select, go over here to your marquee selection tool, set it to where you're just picking nodes for the roads. And we're going to select all of this. If you notice, all the nodes here on the roads are selected. We're going to go find the node that we want everything to be the same height of. Go into this tool here. And this says to object height. So we're going to make everything the same height as this one. Click it. Done. Everything just came to the same height. That's really helpful when you're trying to fine tune things and make things look awesome next to each other. And then you can take your roads and adjust them from there. One more thing the Move It tool does very well that I strongly recommend it for is if you're trying to make tight intersections. So this is without using Move It. If I want to make a road here and then put a road right next to it, you're going to get an error if you try to get too close because it tries to snap and everything. Let's turn off all the guides. If we get too close, sometimes you get an error. That time we didn't. But sometimes you get an error and it won't let you do that. It's actually kind of wild how we didn't get an error there just now. Right there. See, for instance, right there, you got an error that it was touching. Now there is a tool, there is a mod called the Anarchy tool, but that could be a little dangerous sometimes. What I would recommend is just building your road, and then using the Move It tool, go back to your single selection here, and then you can grab these nodes and just move them close to each other. If a road piece looks too high, you can page down to bring it down. You can even match height on everything after everything's said and done. But you can work on getting your nodes super close to each other. Work out all the kinks later. Come over here to your nodes, match them all to the same height there. Oh, hold on. That didn't work out right. Marquee tool. Right here, to object height. Bam. So now everything got moved to the same height as that. And then from there, you can go to your landscaping tool if you have more landscaping options turned on. Turn your brush strength down. Turn your brush size down. And you can shape these hills and kind of get yourself a nice desert highway look here with a bunch of two-lane roads if you wanted to. And that'll get you started on the path there. And all these roads can be super duper tight without losing any of your ability. Oh, wait, I selected them all at once. So we can make this one super close. We can make this one right here super close. And it takes away, see the concrete there that you can see there? It takes away the concrete after you get everything fine-tuned. This is more of a detailing thing than anything else. I'm not a big detailer, but if you follow that link in the description, you'll go to someone who details a lot and they'll be able to help you out more with the fine tuning of that. But you can pull off different things like this if you're in front of a civic center or if you're at the beach or if you just want the rows to be close together. That could be your dream. But that's my #1 mod in City Skylines. If you want a tutorial on it from my perspective, let me know in the comments. We can make it happen. But that's pretty much all I'm going to do for those mods. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, like always, let me know in the comments below, or you can come by my stream. I stream City Skylines Fridays and Saturdays, but I do stream 5 days a week and will be more than happy to answer your city's questions anytime during that time. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day.